Hey, what's up everybody? Do another video. It's crazy because I know that I reviewed a bunch of the drive stuff, but I'm not sure where it went because it's not showing up on my YouTube anymore. So I had to go back and revisit some stuff, and I felt like now is a good time now that there's a bunch of new people getting into Kamen Rider and showing off some stuff. So I want to talk today about one of my favorite series, which is Kamen Rider Drive, and we're going over the secondary rider, Kamen Rider Mach, and his ride Macher, which is his bike. And yeah, so let's get started. I really enjoyed this toy then. I actually still enjoy it a lot now that it stays on permanent display, but I have worn this figure down to the point where it's starting to yellow. So it's not going to be in the best and brightest and newest condition, but it's pretty cool that I'm still like enjoying it. As you can see here, it's starting to yellow here along the arm because it's been in direct sunlight for a long time. And I honestly forgot about it as it stayed on display. But overall, his look and aesthetic is something that I truly do enjoy, and it lines up really well with both articulation and look for me. So yeah, let's get into it. Mach has the racing Mach, like Mach driver motif, all while using a bike. So it's all pretty cool as he has like the motorcycle helmet, the sleeked out design. It looks really, really cool. He's one of my favorite secondary riders. And this kind of gave love to the new love for secondary riders, not only just the look, but just that they had a lot more story as well too. Excuse me, I haven't been really feeling well, so I'm trying to get over it. But yeah, so let's jump into the articulation. One of the cool things about Mach is that his helmet can actually lift up to let out excess steam, which is one of the cool gimmicks that he has. So as you can see here, the helmet can lift up, and you'll see like an under helmet, which is really, really cool. You can just bring that plate back down, and then you'll just have the helmeted face again. I really, really like that. And it doesn't hinder the articulation at all. You can still look up, you can still look down, tilting left and right. Just having a bunch of different expression. The only thing is that mine is worn out, so it easily can pop off, but it pops right back on as well too. Our left arm can rotate up. You move that up, and this is about as far as you get, which is weirdly enough, I'm not sure why mine's is locking up, but it can still rotate all the way around. You can rotate the bicep swivel out. You have that 360-degree wiggle, and I think it has something to do with our shoulder pad being a little smaller than expected, so that arm doesn't reach out as much as I would like it to. And on the right arm, we have our gimmick for him, which is the signal bike. And when you're using this, it changes, and I'm going to get into that in a second. Our shoulder pad rotates down, which allows the arm to reach all the way out here. So the right arm actually gets a lot more extension than the left arm for some reason. I'm really not sure that's going on. Or maybe mine's is just, yeah, mine's is just locked up. So I'll get into that and trying to figure that out outside of the video, and we'll get into that later. We still have our bicep swivel over here as well too, and our arms are double jointed on both sides. Here we have a wrist gauntlet. On the left one we don't. The wrist gauntlet actually swivels, so you don't have a problem moving it. And then we have our ab crunch and our mid-torso articulation. This can go left and right. As you can see here, not a lot of room for movement, but going backwards and forwards, we actually get a lot more crunch than we expect. And then we get our lower movement, which wiggles left and right. So while limited in some areas, he still looks good aesthetically. So that way it doesn't get in the way too much. As you can see here, our legs can go all the way out. They spread all the way to the point where you can plie forward. No, sorry, sideways in this case. But you can actually go really far forward. Then we can rotate it to go backwards as well too. This is our extension range we'll get. You'll have a thigh cut. Your legs are double jointed, which will allow you to do rider kicks. Very important for Kamen Rider to be able to do rider kicks. But more importantly, he's able to sit on his bike and crouch. So there's a bunch of different designs. Technically, you can get a bunch of Spider-Man poses out of him, as you can see here, if you really wanted to get crazy with it. Also, his belt actually has his gimmick that actually allows it. You can lift up on the signal bike and push down, and the signal bike is also removable. So it's been a fun, good time with these. And even as time going on, with this being an older figure, for me, it still kind of has its pizzazz, especially because I've really enjoyed Mach. So he has a really nice look. But more importantly, he still retains most of his articulation. My arm locking up is definitely something that I don't remember happening before. Or maybe I'm just having a secondary look, but I just don't remember it happening before. But overall, it still doesn't prevent too much. But I wanted to add this. This can also be taken out. And you can actually remove the whole wheel in general. It's going to take a little bit of work, but you can remove the whole wheel in general and add a different sort of part if you want. Me personally, I keep it there for its motif. Oh, one more thing. You can actually pull the arms out a little too on both sides. As you can see there, reaches out with that extra range. But if you want to remove that gimmick and make it symmetrical, you can. I personally don't do it, but I know there are people who have. My boy Raspberry Chainsaw actually has one as well too. He was actually the first person I know that had the mod happen, and he actually got the mod by accident. So yeah. So here we are. We're gonna put this wheel back on, and we're gonna rotate these wrists around. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk about his accessories. Now we get his weapon, which is the Mach wheel. It's a wheel gun. Yes, it both is used for close combat and shooting, so it's pretty funny. And we also get an extra signal bike, which can either be placed inside the belt or inside of the weapon. And it plugs in with a tab, as you can see here. Then we also, for that signal bike, we get the turn motif. To change it out to the turn motif, you actually, what you're gonna do is you're gonna just lift the tire out like this, replace this main part. You're gonna gently place this in to make sure that it aligns with the port here, and then you plug in. So as you can see here, the U-turn. I'm actually just gonna leave that in instead of just doing it all over. Next up, because we have this cool plastic cape that plugs right out, you'll also get a flowing version, which shows it when it's flowing or doing some sort of action sequence. And it plugs right in. You can see it right here. I'll leave that in for this cool action pose that he's already in. All right. Then we have our open palm hands. Let's actually get some focus on that. We have our open palm hands. We have our relaxed hands. We have our weapon holding hands. These can also be used to get in the rod Macher. Then we have our thumbs up hands, which I've enjoyed, but these are also used to hammer down on his driver, as it has a cool sound to do that. And if you ever watch the show, you'll see it. So Mach actually is really dope, and I like it a lot. It's one of those cool things that actually got cooler as I played with it and as the show went on. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the weapon holding hand / bike hands on. And I'm going to put those on because I'm going to show you guys the bike as well too. This is going to be a 2-in-1 review, right? Let's try to knock out all the cool stuff today. Now, those hands are plugged in. And here we have the ride Macher. This also comes with some bonus stuff, and I'll get into that in a second. The bike is plain and simple, straightforward. It's a really cool design. It's really straightforward. As you can see here, you turning the handlebars will turn the wheel. There is this sidebar piece. This can be removed as well too, if you don't want to add that on, but it definitely plays a portion in the show. Not a big role, but a small portion. And just to let you know, inside of the box is going to come with this piece off. You actually attach it on after taking it out of the box, and you have your movable wheel and your kickstand. Now, if you're going to do cool Kamen Rider stuff and you want to show it in motion, you can push the kickstand up and place it here in the back wheel, and this will hold it up with no problem. Makes it look like it's going forward. You'll also get 2 extra signal bikes and their pieces for the divide and the stop signal bike. So you'll get the divide and the stop one. Ooh. And then you'll also get their signal bikes for that. As you can see here, they're very tiny, and I don't want to lose them. And then just to see how Mach looks on his bike, as I sit here and have him look crazy at first until I get him all posed up. Oh crap, you know what? I forgot to go over that cool ankle pivot, but yeah, whatever, we'll get to that. So as you can see here, he actually sits on his bike perfectly fine. You can actually even tuck the head in if you want. As you can see, it looks pretty fine on the bike. If you want to do some cool action shots though, what I suggest you do is you can actually do the classic Akira. Because of the type of bike that he has, you can actually do the classic Akira. Obviously, you can't do it from his right-hand side because this is going to be in the way, but he does have the posing ability to do it on the left-hand side. So keep that in mind when you want to do some cool stuff, right? Then, if you want to pop a wheelie or anything like that, obviously, this is going to be a lot harder on this bike. But you can do front wheelsies. And you can have him sort of sit up on the bike with excitement. So if you want to do one of these, like in Kamen Rider where they stop the bike, rotate it around. These are one of the cool things you can do. As you can see him looking down and backwards as he hits somebody with his bike. So those are cool ideas that you can have. Let me actually get this guy all settled up so we can talk about him with some size comparisons. I'm gonna leave these hands in. I'm gonna put his shoulder piece back on. And I've definitely worn that piece out because now it's starting to get loose. And it's been like, what, 3-4 years, maybe more? But yeah. Oh, one more thing, that generous ankle pivot that I forgot to mention earlier. As you can see here, it's really all there. Now, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna get this guy standing straight up, looking cool. Attach his little scarf, getting his rider on. And we're gonna get this guy sized up with some Kamen Rider Drive stuff, as well as a few other things. So let's get ready to get started. So now as we jump into size comparisons, let's compare it to some of the Drive characters. First up, we have our main protagonist, which is Kamen Rider Drive, which I'm very tempted to do another review on him as well too. Then we have a main man Chaser. This will round off our main riders from Kamen Rider Drive. And I don't think I've ever reviewed Chaser, so I should probably do that as well too. So we can talk about these three guys. Next up, we're going to do one of the antagonists, which is Romude Heart. And you can see here how he stacks up. Then we're going to do the final antagonist, which is Gord, aka Gold Drive. That poor romanization, man, boy. So here we are with Gold Drive. See how these guys stack up? So here we have them. They look pretty good, all around the same height. Heart is a tiny bit taller due to what's going on, and I have his legs a little separated, but standing him straight up, you probably get like a little bit taller, right? So let's take these guys away. Now we're gonna do some more stuff. Next up, we're going to do it with a renewal. Here he is next to Kamen Rider Kuga. Amazing Mighty version at that. See how these guys stack up, and as you can see, most of the Kamen Rider stuff does do well with each other. Then we have a Mythic Legion's Purple Orc, aka Purplore, right? These guys are gigantic. Here we are with a 1000 Toys Synthetic Human. Right now, I don't have any ninjas with me because I'm doing some ninja sorting. I should have taken one to side, but I didn't. So if you know about the 1000 Toys, you know they scale about the same size as the ninjas. Here we are with a 6-inch Spider-Man. Show you guys what's going on. As you can see, Spider-Man is still bigger than these guys, but he looks pretty good in scale with them, right? Let's take these guys away. Next up, we're going to do a Mezco meet to show you guys what's going on. Here I am, and I am gigantic over Kamen Rider, but you can make it work if you do a lot of cool, crazy perspective shots, right? All in all, I am still enjoying this figure, even as years have passed by now. Definitely hope to get some new cooler shots in, so hopefully you guys will enjoy too. And as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for trying out Kamen Rider. And as always, please be good, do good, drink your water. Later.